Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Orv3NWO bringing you another Call of Duty gameplay, and this time we have some Search and Destroy on Modern Warfare 3, and I think I end up going like 14-2. It's a pretty good Search and Destroy game by my standards anyways, not by a lot of guys, but for me it's a pretty good game. And I picked this gameplay specifically for this subject because of the game type and everything. We're going to be talking about competitive Call of Duty, and I pretty much lose all of my credibility when I try to throw a portable radar out that window and it comes back and it breaks my nose. But we're going to push through that. We're just going to blaze right past it. Competitive Call of Duty, and especially with a with a leaning towards the Black Ops 2 competitive Call of Duty. They're doing more than they have ever done in Call of Duty's life cycle to push competitive COD to the masses, to get everybody involved. And I really like seeing that. I think it's really cool. But we're going to talk about it a little bit, and kind of the upsides, downsides, and what I'd like to see come out of it. There's a lot of talk between people in the pro style, in the MLG little section, and in the pub section as to what should really be the rules in competitive Call of Duty. Should there be kill streaks? Should you be able to use any perk? Should you, this and that? And it really depends on who you ask. A lot of the pub guys are pretty adamant that there needs to be kill streaks. It should be the entire game. 100% of the game should be open in competitive Call of Duty, and they actually make a pretty compelling argument when you think about it. For the masses, for the average Call of Duty player, when you try to join into game battles, when you try to jump into a competitive scene in Call of Duty, you're basically playing an entirely different game than what you've been playing in the public matches. Now, there are reasons for that. I can 150% sympathize with the people that don't want to see Assassin Pro in MLG games. I get it. I understand. So I'm with you there. The thing is, I think we kind of have to pick and choose on stuff like this, because what these guys are saying makes sense. There are hundreds, well, probably thousands of inactive game battles accounts where people say, "Oh man, this sounds like so much fun." They get on GB, they start playing, and they're like, "Wow, I'm totally out of my league. I don't have, I can't figure this out. It's just it's too much." And I'm super competitive in everything, everything that I do. That comes from playing sports my entire life. It's just how I am. So I sympathize with both sides. I don't think that people who are new should just get an advantage. I don't think that we should just say, "Oh, these guys don't know how to play, so give them everything," because that's kind of how Call of Duty, I think, has gone a little downhill for me anyways. It becomes easier for newbier players to be good at. So I get it. I think you should have to learn and play. But I see where these guys are coming from. And I honestly think a few things, this is my kind of opinion right off the bat. The main thing that I hear most people talking about is kill streaks. And I don't know. I would like to see some MLG games, or some game battles games with kill streaks in them. I mean, just to get a feel for how it would work, As it is now, as far as I know, I've never seen it done. I've never seen MLG rules with kill streaks. I'd like to just see some, goofing around, some guys do that and see how it went, see how it played. Because I think you'd get as of right now, we're all just speculating. We're all just saying, "Oh yeah, well, it's going to suck, it's going to be awesome, it's going to suck," whatever. We don't really know. Once you see that, you can make a more accurate, description of what it needs to be. One thing that I've always thought was really cool, this is something I kind of came up with from an idea from other people, but as far as I know, it's kind of my own. I heard Onslaught talking a lot about why he loved competitive Halo and why he likes watching it more than competitive Call of Duty. And it's because, he said, because of the power weapons, the struggle for the power weapons, getting to them, and then watching some pro that's really on another level just go on a tear with that power weapon and just really wreak havoc. And that really kind of drove the entire battle of competitive Halo. And my thought when I was thinking of that is, that's kind of cool, because only, pretty much only one person can have the power weapon at a time, for all intents and purposes. So what I was thinking is, why not designate a killstreak player at the beginning of each MLG match or round or whatever? I think that would be kind of cool. Then you have to decide who your strongest player is, or which player is going to be the most likely to get these kill streaks. He gets to decide what kill streaks, and then is he going to get them? Is he going to get them? Is he not? Is he going to be able to get that AC-130, and then what is he going to do with it? Or, whatever. Even if it's not that. Even if it's just a Predator missile and he ends up getting a triple with it. How intense would that be? I think it would be awesome. Now, again, that's me coming from pretty much a 99.99% pub background, okay? So I think that most of us that come from that would like to see that. The guys that are mostly competitive, I don't hear a lot of them in support of that. What I do hear is a lot of them wanting more, viewers, wanting more people to support competitive Call of Duty and things like that. And I'm all for it, but it's just like if you look in, if you want to talk about competitive Call of Duty, you're basically going to have to look at it like a sport. Now, obviously, it's not an actual physical sport, but you have to look at it like that. NFL was not always this Goliath of a thing that it is now, where it's just ratings giant, merchandising giant, just kills everything. They have been working on the NFL for years and years and years, and they have basically restructured the entire rules of football to fit TV and to make it more viewer friendly. You can listen to any pregame show in the world and they'll talk to you about how this isn't old school football. You don't just run the ball anymore. It's more offensive friendly than ever. We throw more than we ever have, because that's what people want to see, and that makes it more fun. Now, the old school guys, they hate it. They want to see you run the ball 40 times a game and win with defense. And the younger guys, they want to see people throw 50-yard passes and break 40-yard touchdown runs. So you have to I think we're going to, at some point, have to kind of hedge our bets and merge this a little bit. Now, it didn't happen all at once. We didn't just, one year, we flipped a switch in the NFL and said, you know what? Everything's different. Now everyone loves the NFL. But if you look at any sport, all of them have done this at some point. The introduction of the shot clock in basketball, the introduction of the three-point line in basketball, that's relatively new. There was no three-point line, and people weren't watching basketball. That was not added for some sort of edge in the game. What it was added for was to add excitement. We have to do something to pick up the excitement level a little bit in competitive Call of Duty. The reason why more people watch pub matches while guys are getting these huge scores is because, at least to me, this is my opinion, it's more intense. You don't know when this guy is going to come running around the corner. In competitive Call of Duty, everyone is really smart. Everyone knows the maps. Everyone knows what they're doing. It's not super exciting because everyone's so worried because they know that other guy is just as good, or if not better than they are. So they're very, very cautious. We got to find some way to turn up the amps on that, to make it a little more intense. If you want bigger viewers, otherwise, I mean, it's fine how it is. I like it just how it is. It's okay. But if you want it to get bigger, then there has to be some sort of change. I would love to see the implementation of kill streaks in some way. I don't know if it should be 100% or not. I'd love to hear what you guys think. To me, I think that would be awesome to watch and just kind of see how it goes for a couple games, if nothing else. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be totally wrong. I don't stay up on this as good as I should, and I don't watch near as much live streams and stuff as I should. But what I'm wondering is, I know a lot of these pros live stream game battles all the time, and just kind of, even if it's not game battles, just getting together and playing against random people but they'll play, you know, that style of rules. Why can't we get one live stream where they try it out? And if it's already happened, let me know, because I'd love to see it. I really would. And I may just have missed it. I may just be totally stupid right now. So let me know if there's one out there, and I will definitely watch it, because I'd love to see how that would play with, you know, basically MLG rules except add kill streaks. The other things going into it, you know, you have some guns out, you have some perks out, and I definitely understand the reasoning. I think that there's sound reasoning for all of that. I think we just kind of have to pick and choose here, and you know, kind of find some kind of even ground here if we want more people in it. That's the main thing. How bad do you really want competitive Call of Duty to grow is the million-dollar question here. If you really want it that bad, we'll find ways to get them in here. If not, you know, we'll kind of sit where we are. And if you're not growing, you're kind of dying. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, this video is almost over now. This is the whole reason I picked this is because Search and Destroy is my favorite objective game type. It's my favorite game type to watch people play competitively. So that's why I picked this one. Pretty decent little game, I thought. But I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on all this. Let me know what you think about competitive Call of Duty. You see the screen fail there where I forgot to move my controller. I'm failing all up and down on this video. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next time.